For those who've been following, we have hit that in-game rank now where we are going to be able to start building a supreme powerful ship to rule the galaxy, man. And we're going to go over some of that right now. Now, when you first log into the game, you're going to see this screen right here. This is in-game content. If you're trying to jump in that right off the bat, you're going to get slaughtered very fast. It shouldn't let you in, but it sounds like a few people have managed to make it in some of those missions with a level 5 character and end up just getting slaughtered. Like, what do I need to do? Well, you need to go back and play the game. I'm going to make sure our stream is running live here, folks. And we are going to go over in depth of things and show you exactly how to play this stuff out. Teach you some new techniques for when you are in here doing your game. Okay, so that looks like it's doing okay. Let us throw a thumbnail on this video, something that will be attractive and inviting for people. So one of the things I wanted to also mention in this, if you're on PS5, you can add me up, man, even if you're not joining the Discord. It's Cryptic Gaming, like gaming with no G. It's all one word, 723, Cryptic Gaming 723. And if you see me in here and you see me online, send me an invite if you're having a problem with submissions or something. Some of these missions can be difficult, so send me that invite. We can pop over and give you a hand with it and get you up into the in-game rank, guys. And this is where the fun happens. Now, the story arc is an amazing thing. I love the story mode in this with all of the different types of missions that are there, all the different factions. You get to check all that stuff out, and depending on what faction you're playing with or what species you're using, you're going to be able to see the aspect of those missions from all sides. So there's a lot of content here to unload, definitely, for sure. Okay, so it looks like we are almost ready here. And one more little thing. So that is one of the things about using a console to do live streams. You want to make sure that all of your stuff is set up properly with your stream, your tags, and all that. And you can do that on the console if you want to. I just find it easier to just quickly get on there with the phones. So I am going to jump into what is called Galactic Red Alert Event. Okay, I'm going to show you how to get there. You can get there from here, but you can also get to it from other ways. So we're currently a rank 62, which is a Vice Admiral. We haven't reached full Fleet Admiral yet, but we're getting pretty close to that. Now, when you come in here and you bring this up, you're going to notice a few things. You have this called in-game. Okay, you're going to have join random TFOs. That is to get those. That is to get the reputation. But also, when you go to end game, you're going to see PVE Task Force Operations. So that's going to be one of those deals where, like, we could go in and check what you want to run. You can pick it, or you could do a join random. That's up to you how you want to do that. Then you have what is called reputation. That's going to be where you're going to come in here, build your reputation stuff up. You can see we have quite a bit of stuff coming off now. I keep that time because I tried to keep those running. Now, if you get in here, you see one and say, well, this doesn't have where I can do anything to it right now. These here are on cooldown. Hey, that's just part of it. You're going to come on down and collect everything that you can. And a lot of these, when you collect these, you're going to get weapons. You're going to get different types of in-game material for your consoles and things like that. You may get ship weapons. You may get ground weapons. It's just anybody's guess. But typically what you get are going to be purple very rare. Which the next one up, of course, is going to be getting those to level 15. It's going to be Mark 12 gear. You're going to be able to get it Mark 15 and get those into gold status as well. But the stuff that you get from the boxes here is great to use those in the process of running these TFOs. But something else I wanted to show you, it is called an Endeavor. This is another upgrade point here. When you look at this upgrade, you're just going to see these perks and you're going to see Endeavor. So these are what you're going to see. Some of them will be daily, some of them will be weekly. So repair 50,000 hull of teammates. Unless you have something to be able to help repair those fleets online, you're going to have a few issues getting that taken care of. But complete Iconian TFOs. We need to do one of those. Hey, we'll join into an Iconian TFO. Deal kinetic damage. So that's typically going to come from your torpedoes. They do have some other types of weapons that have kinetic damage. So we want to make sure we have weapons on there. It's going to build this kinetic damage up. We need to do 150,000 of it, and then destroy Voth ships. So there are what they call the uh, different events in here. We're going to show you how to find a Voth ship as well. Now, unfortunately, I think some of that we're going to actually have to work up into the game to open those areas still, but we can find Voth ships inside the pass. But when you get these completed, it's going to give you these perk points. As you can see, we've earned one here running through this stuff. Now, what you can do is you can come in here and you can say, you know what, I really want to focus on my ship right now and not so much the ground game. So you want to take that check off. So everything is set up for space. So this is going to be control resist, critical chance, critical severity, damage resist beta. So it's giving these different types of things, and you're going to be able to build this up. Eventually you're going to run out of building your character, and you're going to have to go into this in-game perk account. And this is where your stuff comes in. So what should you do first? Well, one of the things that I like to do, I like to make sure that I have a really nice setup on my shields. Now we're going to also increase the max shielding that we can have on our ship. Or we can do a shield hardness. So right now I'm not too worried about max shielding because I still haven't opened up those Mark 12 to Mark 15 shields. So I'm going to do shield hardness. That's going to help me out now. We're going to do a spend a perk, and it looks like it's going to make us choose one. So what you want to look at, you can look at stuff on the side that's going to show you where it's at. Unfortunately, you don't get to select exactly which one it is you want. But you can kind of see what you've got. So we have max hull. I would prefer the shield, but hey, we're going to do the max hull. We can do the critical chance, but we're going to be opening up more weapons and consoles to help with that in the future. Right now, I want to make sure our ship is surviving. So we're going to buy that. You run out of perk points, then you can come in and see where you're at. Now, on my other accounts, these are pretty much maxed out all the way down on space and ground. Of course, that's on the Xbox. Been playing that game since it came out, working on characters and stuff. Now, if you go to start a new character, guess what? This stuff follows you to your next account. As long as you're playing on the same system, you can have as many characters you want under that account, and it's going to transfer to your new character. So that's going to be a great thing for you as well. Then, of course, you have your skills, and unless you've reached that Admiral rank, you're still building these space skills. One of the things I'm looking at doing in here is I may actually restructure this here as soon as I get a retrain token for free. I may come in and just put this all toward engineering because our specializations now are giving us, we're working on Miracle Worker, and of course we're working on our pilot, which is going to give us the rock and roll perk and all the little things that attach to that as well. And then we have turn the other cheek. This is taking damage applies temporary boost to shield hardness on the opposite facing from 1 damage. All 4 shields that are facing can be enhanced at the same time. So what does that mean? If you find yourself in a crossfire, it's going to reduce the damage to your shields by 5% on the opposite side where you're taking the fire. So if you get shot from all sides, it's going to move that effect to all sides. So that is one of the things I like to use, a faster ship that maneuvers a little better, so it tends to get you closer where you're in those crossfire situations. So definitely shield hardness is something you want to work on. Miracle Worker, this is one of the perks I like. Now you're going to be able to open up more of this as you go. You're not just stuck to just 2. So this is 2 for your captain. Okay, if you're training your pilot and you're training your captain as the Miracle Worker, which is your main character, okay, each of these different crew people, they can actually absorb command officer, strategist, constable, commando, temporal operative, however you want to do it. You can do up to 4 of those in those them situations and just really expand upon it. So commando is really great for if you're using a lot of ground missions. Definitely want to have one of those on your team. Maybe you want that perk for yourself and you don't have to worry on the NPCs. That's up to you. But when you play with a team, you want to tell, this is what my focus on, and then they'll have their focus, and you build your team accordingly on those types of strategies. So that's going to help you really by a lot. So now I am in event. You're probably not going to be able to run red alert until you're level 50. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. I want to show it to you one more time. So this is an event that's running until May 23rd. This event here ended. We're waiting for the next one, which will be the Tholian Trouble. But this here, you will get a reward by completing it 10 times. So we're going to get an experimental ship upgrade token, an unlimited tech upgrade. That means it's going to bring any chosen tech that you have, whether it's a weapon, a shield, a console. It's going to bring it to Mark 15, and it's going to give it the quality of gold, which is epic gear. So you're going to be able to increase those things to 15. I would save those for your shielding and for hull plating and for your deflector shields and stuff like that as you come in. And of course, weapons, I wouldn't worry too much about it on the consoles yet. Those are things you're going to be able to rank up later. But this is the quickest way to get you to where you need to go, by running the Red Alert events that they put out every single month. And of course, other events will include more stuff like that. I caution you not to use your experimental ship upgrade token until you have opened up a fleet ship, or at least a tier 6 ship that you are really happy with, because once you spend it, it's on that ship and you can't take it off, and you're going to be opening a slot for something you're not going to use at an early stage. So when you come in here, you can see it says daily available. You can run this as many times as you want. It only counts once per day, so you're going to have to do it for 10 days in a row. You have Red Alert Borg, Tholian, Elachi, Nukul, and Zinkethi. I will go with the Borg, mainly because everyone runs it, because it's the quickest mission on here to run this. So you can get it ground out real quick and move on to the rest of your in-game. So we're queued up for that event now. We showed you around Space Dock a little bit. Went in, did some character customizations and stuff, which is kind of cool, you know, just kind of changing some stuff around. It shows the kinetic space damage. I want to come in here and check my ship real quick. I'll just join that operation. I don't want to miss the queue on that. If you miss a queue, it can put you at the bottom of any future queues that you do. But we'll check our weapons, make sure we have kinetic damage. I'm pretty positive that our torpedoes are going to have kinetic damage on it, but we could be wrong. So this is going to give kinetic damage 5,293 kinetic damage for each shot that you do a critical hit on. So we're going to be able to blow this thing out pretty quick. Now, those don't have to be done just in TFO, so it can be done in patrols, and any type of battle situation is where it's going to work for you. But try to get those done now until you open up all of the different missions that are in the game. You're going to run into a situation where you may not be able to get certain types of enemies killed. Just get back into the story mode, grind on that. But the story mode stuff is great. A lot of really good gear in there, so you should be doing that anyway. But I am trying to focus mostly on my in-game content right now. At least get a couple of those cosmetic pieces and weapon sets. You can see we're filling up pretty quick on our kinetic damage. I mean, we're already up to almost 9,000. Another couple of shots to keep that on up. Notice how he sent that tractor beam, tried to hold me as his warp core went. You got to watch the Borg on that. They are some of the most notorious for grabbing you right as your warp core explodes, and it will take you out.
This is our weapons. We will escort us to your own world, where we will begin assimilating your culture and technology.
They don't sound like such a bad thing with the culture we have today.
Resistance detected. New matrix 0047. 7 of 10. Engaging now.
Okay, so we made it 77,000, so we're about halfway through that completed, I'm sure. But we'll jump into another TFO to see what it is. But this is what I'll be doing. If you're in our Discord group or you're just a gamer who's watching, man, if you get to a mission where you're having some problems and you see that I'm on, you're going to have to send me the request to join you, because if you join me, it's going to mess up your ability to compete in the missions, because it's going to tier all of the enemies up to my level. So if you're lower level than where I'm at, you need to send me the invite so I can join on you. Then we can run those missions that you need to do. Understand some of those missions are single player missions only, unfortunately. So we've been getting a lot of fleet invites. That happens a lot. Going to be talking to some of our guys in Discord just to double check, see if we want to be building our own fleet, if we want to find an established fleet to join this, maybe looking for some active people. So we'll have to discuss that later. As of right now, I'm just kind of sitting here missing out on some of those fleet options. But you got to have like 5 friends online at the same time to go to the fleet admiral in order to start a fleet in this game. At least that's the way it used to be. So trying to get scheduled with everybody at the same time, it can be kind of complicated sometimes. So, all right, we need to go over here to inventory, open up the box from that we got from the Borg event. And of course, we got Iconian resistance equipment. It's a pulse wave assault rifle, Romulan plasma compression pistol. Looks like we have refracting Tetrion cannon. These are actually pretty cool. I enjoy those. We put one on the front of the ship earlier for the 180-degree targeting arc. So these are the spore canisters that I was telling you about. You open those up in Reputation. Don't spend them. You want to put them back in the warehouse as soon as possible. Don't delete them or anything like that. So we did get some discovery boxes too. Let's see what we got here. So we ended up with a Bellium variable geometric detonator. This is for mine weapons. I don't use mines. Okay, specialization qualification command. So this is what's going to get you where you can pick what type of people. We are a pilot, so I don't see making another pilot. And we also are building the Miracle Worker up for ourselves. So what we need to do is I want to make a intelligence officer. And you open those up throughout the game. So we're going to get us an intelligent officer, and then we're going to come over here to our crew and set our commander up as an intelligence specialist. Now what that's going to do as we come through our specializations, as we open up strategist and we start to add these skills, it's going to transfer over, because that's a tactical officer. We're going to be able to find those in our wheels based off as if it's tactical, if it's science or whatever. It's going to expand those in there as well without having to put a bunch of book upgrades on it. Like I said, I'm not wasting my time on applying small books right now. Most of my stuff is it's like Omega Pattern 3. That's low on the high yield, so I want to get that to 3. Beam Overload should be a 3. We got Torpedo Spread 3, and then Rapid Fire 2. So we want to bring some of these up, but I want to make sure, like I'm pretty confident with the Flores Commander. I'm going to be keeping her because she is rare as far as the rating on her, so it's going to be a good commander. But I eventually want to get everything up to epics, so I don't really see wasting my books that we've got. If you come into, I don't know if we can see it from here. We may have to go to Space Dock. It may be in here somewhere. Yeah, so we have a lot of these books here where you can come in and teach them certain aspects. I want to save these for when I get those commanders that are epic golds. Now, you may be wondering where do you get those. The easiest way to do that is to be collecting dilithium. Now, how do you collect dilithium? Well, every time you are in this game and you come in and you run a patrol, look at the rewards. 500 dilithium for most of them. Unless you run it in hard mode, then you get an extra 250. Plus, you're going to get some boxes, bonus boxes and stuff, where you're going to be able to choose some points. Usually pays you 100 points after you do that. You can choose what type of field you want to put it in. Like say we're running Discovery, and we're running the new car marks right now, so those are the marks that I've been choosing. But I'm kind of running anything and everything that I get when I get randoms, because it does give free gear to sell for energy credits. I don't really use a whole lot of that gear. I want to wait for the specialty gear. So you want to be building up your energy credits, and you want to be building up your dilithium, because when you actually join a fleet, you're going to find that there are people who have been playing this game for 10 years, and they're selling stuff at a reasonable price that you might actually be able to afford if you don't go blow all of your credits on low-end stuff. So just use what the game gives you until you've hit at least rank 65. By the time you've hit rank 65, if you've been following the way we played through this video, you should be right around rank 50 coming in, running some red alert events. You should be able to come in to 60, 65, and be able to, well, I think it's rank 55 whenever the reputation gear opened up, even though the TFOs actually opened at 50, so you could be running those ahead of time. Make sure that you're at least a tier 5 ship before you start running patrols is my recommendation to you to get these. Okay, we need to go in here. I want to check our reputation real quick, see what we can get set up and running again. So we do have, this is, okay, there's not going to be any more points coming into it. The Legends reputation coming in. Sometimes you get 200. That's usually about 3 times a day. Then it's not going to pay anything else. So what would be the point in doing it? Well, you're going to get those dilithium crystals on there. So I'm waiting for this to cool down so I can actually come in. Well, we're pretty close to this being completed on this first tier already. That's insane, because that was just one day. So upgrade is available is what it says. So let's see what we can do here. Maybe we need to upgrade here. I think that's what it is. Yeah, so this was the tier 1 reputation upgrade. So that's why it didn't give us any of the extra stuff. It was just upgrade coming into tier 2. Now when you come into tier 2, you're going to start noticing you're no longer just looking at points to get into the next tier. You're looking at, okay, you have a Discovery, Legends, efforts. This is for daily, so once a day you can run this. This is going to give you 2,500 of the Discovery points, which is what moves you up the tiers within Discovery rank. Then you're going to have an hourly incursion. This is going to pay 200. You can run it about 3 times after that. All it's going to pay is dilithium. Of course, then you have ground gear, the hostile environment shield. I'm not partial to it. That's just my personal thing on that. But then you run into this. This is what you want to watch out for. So this is called a dark matter quantum torpedo. Now, how do you know this is something you want? Well, you're going to look at it. It's going to tell you what all your different damages is going to do. Then you see it says part of set Lorca's Ambition. So it's going to be a 3-part set. Once you have the first one, you have all the stuff that's above. The second one, you're going to get stock and critical severity buff on dealing critical on hits. 1% critical severity buff for 20 seconds, stacks up to 25. You can really do a lot of damage. Dark matter torpedoes are freaking boss in this game. I recommend them. All of Lorca gear. When you get the third piece of the set, it's going to have a deal where, see if it says it on here. Yeah, torpedoes at enemies. It says it'll automatically destroy an enemy below 50% health. 1 max torpedo per second. So it's actually going to start sending more than 1 torpedo at an enemy. It'll send 1 shot, will turn into 2 when he's at 50% to take him on out. So this is something I definitely want. I want this torpedo. So how do you do that? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to click on this. Then you're going to come over and you have to fund. You can either fund it individually, or you can simply come over here and hit fill all. And it's going to fill everything you need. Now, we do need 1 more spore canister. And, of course, we're going to need some more discovery marks. So that's something we're going to be grinding on that. So how do we get our spore canister? Well, this here is how you're going to get your spore canister. It says Discovery Legends Ground Gear, and you're going to look. So this is going to cover 5. Okay, let's do this hourly first. This is going to give us a a little bit of stuff. We got to get those 15 points to get this one started. And of course, we need to get another. I can't tell if that's 398 or 388, so we need about 112, something like that. To get that up, once we get that, you're going to start getting a canister each time coming from there. You can grind those canisters as well in the missions. When I say the missions, I'm talking about your TFOs running just specific to that. So let's see where we're at here. We got 180 here, so we might be able to bring this up. Yeah, we could bring this one up. Let's go ahead and do this new Kara Strike Force. I want to bring this up as high as we can. So we're going to be needing dilithium too. Where do we get our dilithium? Well, as you're running those different missions and stuff, you're going to get dilithium. You're going to come into your inventory, go down to assets, come over here, and you want to refine your dilithium. You can do 8,000 per day until you join a fleet. Then you can do more. I think it goes up to 9 or 10,000, but that's it. So you got to really make sure you're spending it on the right stuff. But those torpedoes, definitely worth having. Okay, looks like we have captain skills. This is going to be traits that open up. So as we opened up tier 1, it is giving us ground traits. So there's not a lot to choose from. There's 2 of them right now. We're going to go ahead and put that on. I don't know that we have any active ground reputation to do yet, but we did have the ground reputation up here we could run. So it's coming along pretty good. We're getting built up on that. Now, as you open more stuff, you're going to be able to go in and be a little bit more specific about what you're doing. So while you're in between running missions, you need to be checking your reputation. Make sure that you're keeping it going. You want to be running patrols and task force operations to keep those currencies coming in. Then you want to make sure that you're coming into your end game, running endeavors, making sure that your ship is going to be able to complete those endeavors before you throw it into missions. And then, of course, you need to come into here where you're going to have all your duty officer reputation, crafting, and all. It's going to be loaded up here. So right now, crafting, what we're working on is we're still doing that cannon technology research. It just takes a while. As we get more of these duty officers, we'll be able to run more of those. But for now, it's just 1 a day. Of course, your duty officer missions, after a duty officer is finished, see the roster, see if everybody is ready. So status, so we have 3 on assignment, 1's a new recruit, 0 are in sick bay. So we should actually be able to come in here and pick up some assignments. Now, you can come in, as long as you have the duty officer to match it, you can run dilithium missions if you want to. That's going to give you more dilithium. This is unrefined, so it's just going to put it in the bank and wait for you to refine it. But I do recommend doing that. And I also recommend doing the energy credit missions as well. Now you can run some of these. They're going to have rewards. Like one of the rewards we ended up getting was a heavy proton satellite, I think, which launches out of the back of the ship. And it just gives extra damage around. So that's something we'll look at. And you get different styles of that by running some of these types of events. You know, some of these are only 50 a piece, but hey man, it adds up. So then of course our energy credits, we're going to go ahead and run that one too, because we want as many energy credits as we can get. Then of course we have skill points, so we want to run our skill points and see what we can run in here. We may not have enough duty officers to run them now that we've assigned most everything. Okay, so you can actually hit triangle here and it's just going to show ready. Begin assignment. Alright. So this is where you're going to see purchase prototype heavy turrets and stuff. So you're going to need to go in here, and of course you can pick all this different things up. It's going to give you different types of turrets. You can earn them for free as well. It's going to be up to you how you want to do that. Commendations, I do recommend doing commendations. You can come up and find chains and stuff later as you go. But when you come up in here, you want to look at military is a big one, and engineering as well. But I just started where I want to, so I want to focus on military. There's nothing there new, so I need to come in and just come in and start finding what I can actually run. As you can see, we ran that one mission, which opened something up in military, and sometimes you have to go back through exploration, espionage, medical, colonial, trade, development. So some of these missions haven't come through yet because you have to complete 1 or 2 a day, and it'll take a few days for it to load back up sometimes. course, you can look at your actives and your chains and stuff. And part of this also has to do with the fact we've sent so many duty officers out for dilithium. So, but I do recommend that you do that because as you're building the weapons inside the reputation, you need to have plenty of that dilithium. So then, of course, you have your admiralty. Now, this one's going to be difficult to begin with until you open up your ship. So you have what is called an assignment log that you can run here. Then you have specific like Federation, Klingon, Romulan Republic, and Ferengi Alliance. And you can open up really good gear and open up stores in this as well. Now, when you come in here, you're looking and you see that it has a minimum of 95 on the engineering, 160 tactical, and 85 on the science. So you want to find something on the low end. So like this is 10, 10, and 10. So we're going to click on this right here. Well, it changed a little bit. So now it's 40, 10, and 50. So what we need to do is we look at our ships, and we have to make sure that we're averaging up to 40, or I'm sorry, at least 50 on the engineering, at least 10 on the tactical, and 50 on science. So this one here's got 47 on science. Now, we need something with at least 3 on science to get that up to a 50, but we really want to focus over on on our engineering. We got to focus more on our science right now. So we need something that's going to be close to another 30, 40. So this temporal raider here. So we're still 9 short over on the science. If you're looking at the right hand side, it says slotted required. That's required to be successful. So we need something with at least 9 of those credits. This one here's got 11. So we now can begin this assignment. This assignment, you can maybe do 1 or 2 at a time until you get enough ships, higher end ships, and where you're going to get those is opening up in the game. You're going to earn them in events. You're also going to be able to go into the dilithium store later, where you can come in here, buy these Phoenix prize packs, and then within there you're going to be able to buy ships that can run those admiralities. So that's how you get that set up on admiralty, reputation, crafting, duty officers. There should never be any instance where this is sitting doing nothing. There should always be something going on, or in the missions grinding out what needs to be done. So I do want to come in here and choose. Yeah, I was in the right spot. I want to come in here and I want to choose what marks I want to run. I definitely want to get my discovery marks. So this is where you're going to get the mycelial spores. If you're looking here, you see under rewards, you see fleet credits, see this other icon, and then of course little spore canisters. That's where you're going to get the spores. You have to run them in here. The same will be true of hit the button back too many times. The same is going to be true of all of your gear. So gamma marks, it's not going to always give it to you at low ranks. You will have to come into something, and like the Terran marks, you're going to need to come in here. You're going to need to bump this up, and then of course you start getting Terran marks. So you're going to have to run them at medium levels to get those. But don't worry, because it's going to load you up multiplayer, and even if you're doing horribly bad, as long as you're on a good team, one person's not going to make or break the team. So it's going to get you built up, and people understand that, hey, you know what, there needs to be some help going on. And that's kind of what we're looking at right now, is just getting everybody up to snuff on this stuff. So got a Defense of Starbase 1 mission also. You'll find out real quick, I am more apt to run space-based missions. If you look there, mycelial realm doesn't offer any of those canisters. That's why I'm not even bothering with it. There are some ground missions like Pavo Dissension that would. So that's got us joined up there because we need at least 2 of those canisters, or at least 1 more of those canisters to get that dark matter running. And then we need some more of those points as well to get that stuff running. So what can we do in the meantime waiting on that? Well, I've got to get back to where I fully remember what patrol does what. So I'm going to have to start playing with patrols, seeing what the fastest ones to grind out are, because some of these are pretty quick. Some of them not so much. They take a very long time to run. What do we have here? Preying upon the weak. War cooperative fleet has been disabled since. That one takes forever. The reason I'm looking something quick because I want to run something while I'm waiting on the queue to join in. Okay, we're just going to come back up here to the top. And, you know, I think I'm going to run the Jupiter Gauntlet. Don't mean to keep coughing in y'all's ear. Sorry about that.
The recent conflict at Jupiter Station brought up a number of tactical...
Prepare for battle.
So while we're fighting this, we're doing our endeavors. Remember, we got to do so much damage. Different types.
Breach. Evacuating all personnel.
Hull is fucked. Picard's dead in space.
Trying to figure out what kind of shit these are here. That was that rocket. Ow. Got rubber banded. Okay, we are queued up here, so we won't go ahead and join that because we want the canisters. We can always come in and grind these up, but that canister is the only place to do it. So you may be asking yourself, is it worth joining or should I just wait? Well, we end up getting closer to the Endeavor perk, or the Endeavor requirement being completed. I think we're sitting at 90,000 now, 100,878, so we're almost done with it. We'll finish it in this mission pretty easy. That's going to give us some more perk points or building toward another perk. So we're defending Jupiter Station here. Which is an okay mission. It's not the one I like the most in the game, but it's still a pretty good mission.
Enemy ships approaching. On an attack vector.
Okay, so then you're going to come over here, you're going to work on these satellites. You got to activate the main satellite since it gives us 10 seconds here. Then we got to upgrade these. It'll have different waves and you upgrade them. And they start sending ships in. You want to get every satellite set up before that timer runs out. It's going to help you in battle. I believe he's got that. Now, me personally, I like to fight over at A, mainly because you get more ships over here. You're going to end up with a lot of flagships coming in off this side over here, and then a lot of big fleets coming straight in. It's up to you how you want to position. I guess that's why this guy's here. You can see he's brought out he's converted his ship into that giant jellyfish. That's what that big spaceship looking thing does. It turns to a giant jellyfish, man. And then of course they have perks where you can call those in.
Sensors. Get ready.
Now, we were talking about mines and how I don't use them. It's not completely accurate. I will use a Nukara mine. It is a Tholian web type deal. It wraps your way up around a ship, stops on the track. And if they don't get out of that web, it does massive damage to the ship. Rolling in those perks and endeavors, guys. Bring free of that tractor. Yeah, try hitting that moving target. See this kind of purple aura we're flying in? This is an AoE effect that's coming from one of the friendly ships. It drops your shields down, making it easier to take them out. Terran Empire, that's what those ships are. That's basically the mirror universe if you ever watched the original series. Get close to this bad boy, he'll heal us up here. So the green is whole heals. The kind of purples and whites, those are heals for the shield. we've actually got about 25% overcharge on our hull, which transfers into our shields. That's from that larger ship that's sending all those shields our way. Now, if you don't have that stuff set up that allows for extra hull heals, you're just going to heal and stop at some point. You won't be able to hold that stockpile. So definitely use that on the Endeavors, anything for shields or hull. It's going to let you hold more than what's usually capable. Yeah, I think we'll drop another satellite. It's not quite ready yet. Keep an eye on your other bases to make sure they're not getting overwhelmed. But usually everything comes to this side. Most everything does. Okay, we've got swarmers over there helping. Hey, we completed. Okay, we're going to take discovery marks.
Well,
Now, Ben, since it's the first time we ran it today, we may get a bonus where we can choose another set. I say may. It doesn't always happen, but I'm pretty sure that's the way it worked, if I remember correct. First time you run a mission line of something like that, you get a bonus set. Okay, we're going to come over here, open up our box. Hey, we've got our spore canister. Great. So, next we're going to... Let's go ahead and open all this stuff up. Armored environmental suit. I've already got one of those, but I might pass that off to one of our Discord guys. They may need it. Okay, so let us go back to reputation. We'll come back up here. We know we need to set this up. Boom, that's going to get that started. We should be able to finish this one up. Yep, so that's got that started. So we're looking at 2 minutes on the dark matter quantum torpedo. So I'm going to run to the restroom. By the time I get back with my cup of coffee as well, I think we're going to be ready to throw that on the ship, and you are going to love it. Of course, we still need to open up some of those other pieces of equipment, which will be like tiers 3, 4, and 5, but we're almost there. All right, they are ready. Let's grab those. Now we want to come over here and we want to do our next mission that's going to give us some points. Now, some of these special requisition weapons, you have to look at the details. Where it'll tell you, I think only one of this type can be equipped. Yeah, one of this item can be equipped. So that's something that's going to be from Rear Admiral and upper half. So you're going to have to get those levels up to be able to use it. But as soon as you start grinding, like you follow the guidelines, what we've been streaming online, I've done almost all of the content as a stream on this game so far. So if there's something you're trying to figure out where I got to this point, just back up to the next video and you should be able to find that. But we're going to put in the efforts here. This hostile environment shield, I believe it's Barnard's, determination. It's going to give you some, interesting little perks there. But it's not been one that I was really impressed with. But it is going to give you 364.8 maximum shield capacity, so it's worth using if that's something you decide you want to do. I'm not going to bother with it. I'm going to focus on Nucara for some of my ground weapons here. So let's go ahead and get this queued up. This is our hourly, or no, this one here is our daily. Go ahead and fund it up. This is looking okay. We may get some more points off for it though. Okay, so we know when we get to the next tier, as we start approaching it, we're going to need more of those spore canisters. So I do recommend that you try to grind out a few more of those. Now, maybe you don't want to sit there and just wait in a queue. Maybe you just want to join up to a random, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're going to do that real quick while we're waiting. Join random. Wow, that was actually really super quick. Like I say, once you get in that you are playing all the way through those queues, once you join, you stay in, you're not missing the queue. It's going to start loading you in a lot quicker. It takes you a little bit as a new player to get in some of them, but once it starts to recognize
are about to
you,
overrun this planet, and time is a factor. Several Jem'Hadar ships have been disabled.
You will get priority, so priority over players who jump out in mid-battle. It does track that stuff, so don't start one if you can't complete a TFO. Send some power to this ship over here. Everybody start blowing up around us. Okay, so this is a similar quest to what we just did earlier time. You're going to have 3 different bases. They're going to load in ships that are full of people evacuating the area, and you got to fight off the enemy. And you're going to have to watch to see which line is being attacked. If they're green, they're good. If they're red, they're under attack. Typically, people will split up on it and just run the thing. Run one line. We'll have to look, see here. We got me, 2 others over here. So that means we've got 1 guy over here.
Well done.
Took it out. Alright, I'll come in and I'll play between these 2 sections. We do get more action over there than you do the center. We got quite a bit of action over here. What's going on? Honestly, though, what you'll see me do is I just go wherever the ships are. If I blow all the ships up, I'll move to the next side. Easier doing this small raider than it is a large battle cruiser that moves so slow. So you're going to get to deploy tractor mines. That's just something to do with the mission. You don't actually have to carry them on your ship. It just sets up a little boundary for the enemy that comes in. Okay, so this next one should be this side.
The last of the refugee ship.
So you're not going to be able to see all of them on the map unless you bring up the main map. So what you want to do is just kind of look back and forth across here. You could hit your PS map button. It'll show it to you. I find it easier to just watch for it manually. You have Gamma, Beta, and Alpha.
Herc ship
these
spotted
mines.
at escape route Gamma. Get over there. Head to escape route Beta. Protect the refugee ships.
So we got some at Beta and at Gamma, so we're going to be working way across the map here. Not that they can't handle it, but you want to get points. Okay, we should be getting some action Alpha next. If you're wondering where they got those spaceship, them big round saucer looking ships that can convert into a jellyfish in space, that is an event that took place a few years back. They've had it a few times, but you have to run the event. You're not going to be able to buy it.
Protect them.
So you could get the saucer or the flying wing, you know, the half moon.
Dreadnought on center. Be careful. Herc ship spotted at escape route Gamma. Get over there.
Oh, that's a tough old egg crack right there. Go down, buddy. There you went. Good there. We need to head back over to Gamma. So we tractor mines along the way. So there's some action between Gamma and
Head
Beta
to escape
here.
route Beta. Protect the refugee ships.
He's saying Theta, but it's Beta. I don't see. Oh, yeah, there's some did port in.
Refugee ships heading down escape route Alpha. Protect them. We're speeding up the evacuation. All lanes will be utilized.
See the Enterprise do that. Barrel roll with a loop.
Refugee ships heading down escape route Alpha. Protect them.
Yeah, I see some purple gear. Get down there and grab it. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on, turn, sweetie. There you go. Get that stuff. Bada boom.
ship spotted at escape route Gamma. Get over there. Refugee ships heading down the street without protection.
Got the satellite out. It will help.
Earth ship spotted at escape route Gamma. Get over there. Head to escape route Beta. Protect the refugee ships. Refugee ships heading down escape route Alpha. Protect them. That's everyone.
And that is how it's done. Now, you may be looking at this temporal radar going, man, I really like the way the ship moves, but I really don't want to spend, I think it was like $30 to open that thing. Use anything within Starfleet that is, they have raiders, they have raptors, they have destroyers. Those are going to be your fast movers. And then when you start getting into cruisers, they're not quite as maneuverable, but they still have a little speed. And when you get into battleships and battle cruisers, they are just slow as molasses, man. So we could do a fleet mark package with daily bonus, or we could do a Gamma Task Force mark package with daily bonus. Gamma is actually pretty good reputation chain, so we're going to use it, and then we're going to be able to use those bonus marks to get some more Discovery or New Kara. I'm going to open this up. Open that. Hey, we got this new special requisition pack. Awesome. We're going to come in here in a minute. We're going to show you how to upgrade that dark matter torpedo and put that on the ship. But first, we need to go claim our other marks. You have 4 minutes to grab it. And let us do New Kara marks this time. Okay, so when you get in here and you start opening up in-game weapons, that's going to be stuff that you open in Reputation. You want to come over here to, let us find it. It should be upgrade. So we're going to upgrade an item. We want to find our dark matter torpedo, which would be right here, I think. Yes. So then tech upgrade, actually access within the Starship Bridge. You should be able to access your bank. You can on Klingons. I'm sure you can here. I'd be surprised if it's on one faction, not the other. Or you could go back to Space Dock if you wanted to and run around out there. But a lot of times you can do everything right here on the ship. I might actually only have experimental ship upgrade tokens and captain specializations. We'll have to double check. But now that I think about it, I think those are experimental upgrade things for your ship. We'll double check the bank just to make sure though. Is that a bank? Yes sir, that is the bank. All that's the account bank. I have to go to the... Yeah, I'm going to have to go to... I'm going to have to go back over... Let's see, I got to leave the interior. Then we'll have to travel over Space Dock because I put it into large bank. I should just put it in my character bank. I messed up on that. So we should be able to transwarp back to the Sol system or Space Dock. I don't know if y'all can hear a lot of the background noise. We have a thunderstorm from out of nowhere down here right now, and it is just pounding rain and popping lightning. So if I lose connection and it jumps off, that's what's going on. I think we'll be okay. We'll see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I must have been looking at the reward for the red alert. We're going to look at the bank. I know we've got some stuff to upgrade, but I don't know if it's for weapons and equipment, or if it's just the captains of the ship. Yeah, so it's elite captain training and experienced ship upgrade or experimental ship upgrades. We don't have the one to upgrade our weapon to 15 yet. That's fine. Got things kind of confused. We are going to go ahead and equip that because that is stronger than the torpedo we're currently using though. See, we have Chronoton torpedo. It does 2200, 2137 on the adaptive transphasic. These are great for taking out Borg. This is the weakest link, so we're going to switch this out. It's going to be 3489. As you build into that set, that can reach up to about 10,000. Once you hit that up to a level 15 epic, man, you will be doing some massive, massive damage. So it's going to give us a 4% critical chance at a critical strike, and it's going to stack twice. So instead of 4, you'll get 8. You're going to have an 8-second recharge on this thing instead of the 10-second with the other. So let us put this bad boy on there. I want to double check something here. I know we opened up some refracting Tetrion turrets. I want to see what the damage is in comparison. It's a little lower. Tetrion cannons, a little bit lower. This is our disruptor beam, 401. So no, there's our Tetrion dual beams. And our anti-proton. Nope. So it looks like we have the best of everything on there at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit this. We're going to save our loadout. If you name your loadout the same as you name your ship, It's going to keep that easier. What I messed up though, when you do that, you have to watch the countdown on save loadout. When that closes out and it goes back to yellow, then you can back out. That's when you know you've saved. So something to keep an eye out on. So we could use an experimental token if we wanted to and bring this up. We do have quite a few of them. I don't think I want to do that though. I want to save that for one of the other ships. But what I did use is when you come to your commander here, you notice I now have this area open. We have an additional slot here as well. That's because I used the experimental or the upgrade for your captain. That gives you those extra slots. So he can now fill it in. You have extra ones for future characters that you want to do. They don't do anything for your other commanders. We did get our commander set up where if you come over to the station, if you come over here then go to the career, we've got up to commander. Hilthord is a cadet. We need to bring him up to a commander. That's as high as you can get him. We have another cadet. Let's bring him up. I don't think we're using some of these other guys yet. But we do have quite a few bridge crew commanders we can choose from later. But I'm not seeing where any of them are yellow, or I'm sorry, the purple. Blue. This one here was purple. So that one there might be worth doing until we start opening some elites. But everybody else is green and blue, so I'm not going to worry about those. We will slowly replace those. That is one of the perks of being in a fleet, is a lot of times they will sell you commanders that they don't need pretty cheap, or just put them out there for the members to get, so you can come in. And you want to make sure when you look at that commander that you're looking at the traits before you choose your commander. What does that mean? That means when you are looking at... Where's that here? Ship crew Enigma stations, I think. Yeah. The traits that they have, these are going to be the traits that you're going to be able to select from. So these are the base traits that are automatically on there. Now we can open up new traits as we go, but you have to get those books. It's going to say for Viral Impulse Burst 3. So you need to get a book that reflects that. Now if you bought this book and this commander wasn't capable of doing it, then you wasted your money. So make sure that you're only buying the books that you need to upgrade the specific things that you want on your account, and you can set those up based off of the commander. Like this one here has 4 attributes, this one here has 3, then we have 3 down here, and then of course 2 over here. We can, if we wanted to, I like the emergency power to shields. Emergency power to weapons is okay. Of course, then we have eject warp plasma. That would be one of the first things I would change on a book. But I think I may actually switch this out with an engineering commander. Let's see what he's got. So your officer traits is going to be ground up top. So basic cold dwelling. It's going to have superior natural immunities. It's going to be team exploit damage, so it's going to give you a little bit better ability to take on damage. Telepathic improves exposed, so they're going to be able to detect other enemies around. Well, what does it look like as far as we're going to have engineering team, reverse shield polarity, eject warp plasma? That's who we currently have on there. We want to bring this up into a science officer. So what I want to look at, this is tachyon beam, don't care about it. Tractor beam, don't care about it. Scramble sensors, don't care about any of that. So this has cannon, rapid fire. I think we actually have that one set up. We do over there. We should have another science officer here. Get up here where we can see what we got. Science bridge officer. It's a tachyon garbage. This is a engineer. You can tell by the color code down below. And another engineer. Well, that is going to be a tricky one to decide. We could put this on, but like I said, it just doesn't have any perks, and I don't see doing any upgrades to Vrail. I think we're going to wait and see if we can open another commander. Then, of course, visuals. You can equip different type of visuals that you're going to get. What I do recommend is don't just buy the cosmetic piece when you are into reputation. Get the actual piece of equipment with the cosmetic attached to it. That way you're getting the full benefits of everything that's on there. It's going to give you the visuals, but it's also not going to give you the extra power to the shielding or the deflector or even your impulse engines, but the buffs that it gives. For having a complete set, you do get those. So that's going to be one of the great things that you need to watch for. Okay, so I need to come in here and run a patrol. We're going to go ahead and hammer this out. It's going to give us 500 dilithium. I'm not sure which mission this is. Honestly, I just picked one. You're going to be able to get things to upgrade your weapons and your shielding and stuff like that by saving up dilithium. Later on, once you've completed this, then you're like, well, I don't want to have to spend money to upgrade these weapons to Epic 15s, where you're not going to have to. You take and you buy those Fennec prize packs, and that's going to give you things where you can upgrade your weaponry, upgrade your shielding equipments and consoles and stuff, and just use those. And it takes a little bit, but you're going to be able to keep upgrading that stuff, get to that level 15, and then you just have to keep hammering it until it finally reaches Epic.
This is Cooperative Cube 1138. We are here to help.
Oh yeah, I think we did this yesterday. If you remember, the Horpang torpedo I told you to keep when you first open it at the beginning, we've got that set back in our bank right now. And once we get an epic upgrade for that, we're going to bring that up to 15. That is the strongest torpedo in the game. Those are those dark matter torpedoes. It's awesome when they go into a spray because they just do massive damage. Okay, so we're going to fly over to the next area and help this ship out.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. We'll make our way to a base to complete repairs.
Hop up out of here real quick. Get some heals on this shielding. we did get our hull back up pretty quick, which is nice. That was that Miracle Worker perk that kicked in. So once we have charged up our shields, we can come back into battle. Let's put this on healing for shields. So Miracle Worker, that gives you the structural integrity and stuff to get out of the area, and then of course you have to wait for the heals to come along. Now something you can do if you have what they call Battle Cloak, you can come in into it. It's going to heal your hull a lot quicker because you're not having to divert to your shields. But when you come out of that cloak, you're going to have to heal your shields up as well. So it's up to you how you want to proceed with that. You can add this on, that's going to give you a little bit extra heals, and then if you have a shield battery, you can kick it on. It's going to help bring your shields up too. Press that left joystick in to activate everything. It sets it as a priority, is what you're doing when you press that left joystick in. It's like the captain screaming out and telling Scotty, said, said, I've given you all she's got. He's going, it ain't enough. Get us some more. So. What all do we have here? We'll open up some new stuff. Defensive configuration. Okay, so the next one that we come to here, I am going to do things just a little bit different. I'm used to holding the X button to speed up my ship on Skull and Bones. Okay, so before we actually modify this probe, I'm going to set out a anti-proton turret. That way, if ships come in, they'll fire at it instead of me to start off with, and I can get my ship moving again. So we're going to launch our probe. Rescue survivors. And there's the enemy.
The 4,000 resistance. Outweighed.
Don't be afraid to hit that battle cloak. Heal up and come back in, man. hunting, hiding on the bottom side, making me waste shots. Got me with his tractor beam. He had to lease.
The price for your interference is your lives. Die.
Another wave. We'll focus on the small guys first, I think. Make a hasty retreat, charge up your stuff, and then come back in. Why did it fire? No. Must have had something targeted again on us. We'll have to wait for the cloak to recharge. It does have an automatic defense. If your cloak's on and there's a missile coming at you, it will drop cloak to fire at it on an auto defense thing. So that's actually pretty good to have. They also have one that's a repulsor beam that'll shove your ship back across space, man. Those Voth ships are pretty tough ships. Bulwark, I've seen a few people using something similar to it, but it's got spikes on it. It's just a war edition, I guess, or something. You can open that up in the game, and they are using some hard to beat ships. But they're slow as molasses. Scooty scoot scoot. Okay, so that ship that come out, that's the perk that we picked up. Anytime you see that line that's lit up above our slots there, light up, you can call in fleet support. I've got mine set to auto, so it'll call them in. At the very least, it helps. They don't really do a lot of damage, but it does help take some of the firepower off of you. Man, this hull is was just about toast, man. Okay, I think we're going to hit our miracle worker. We want to drop out of this. Come back here. We got to keep an eye on that hull because while it's getting hills, it can drop pretty quick. This one like a 30 or 40 second part. Oh, we didn't get the cloak in time. We got shot. No big deal. We'll just hop in. We'll just respawn here in a second and finish taking these guys out. This is a rough one to do until you start getting those in-game weapons. It really is. I always mess up and throw stuff into hard mode. I'm used to playing it that way to get that extra point, but I need to pay attention when I'm loading up. But it'll show you what your ship can take. I'm going to put some warp plasma down around that guy. That should affect his shields and his scanning. If you don't get blowed up, we can take and get advantage of that. Well, we got one of them down. We'll take the other guy out where we respawn. I'm gonna run over there and grab that gear that just popped out. Dropping the turret. Satellite. Ooh, that was some loud lightning right there. It's the whole house. So we've done 12 of 30 Voth ships. We got to do 18 more. That is for the actual Endeavor missions. So that's going to be this location is the very first one in the patrols. That's going to be where you get your Voth ships if you've got to that stage where you're trying to figure out where they're at. Right here, man.
Tracking a large force incoming. Preparing defense station.
have our thanks.
Paris shuttle arriving at docking bay 6.
Okay, so I went ahead and collected some discovery marks. We'll go back to our ship. Then we'll open our crates. Should have some dilithium. Okay, let's see what we got here now. Go to inventory. That's good. Resonating secondary deflector. That's for ships that have a secondary deflector, I'm pretty sure. Okay, we're going to put that Pax warhead yield chamber on there. It's going to give us another 20% torpedo weapon damage and 9.4% increase on our hull capacity. We currently have one for beam weapon technology as well. We still need to get purple on some of these other consoles, but they are coming along. And then, of course, our power insulator, which is a science perk. Gives us a 26.2 Starship Drain expertise. I want to replace that, obviously, with stuff that's going to help with the shields and the hull on there. And then, of course, I'm running the Tetraburnium hull armor, the Triburnium armor. It's going to give you extra resistance to the different types of damages people will be shooting at you. So far, it's looking like it's coming along pretty good. Let's pop over here to reputation, see if there's anything more we can do. Looks like that's still going. This one here is completed. Looks like we can run this one again. Like I say, watch for the rewards. Eventually it'll stop giving to 200 and you'll only be getting the dilithium. But it doesn't cost for like 15 of those, 7,500 of your energy credits, 1,000 expertise could load that up. So it's kind of worth it for some of that stuff, especially with the 200 points. Okay, fill all. So we're getting close to completing tier 1 here. We completed tier 1 here. We're already into tier 2 now. That's giving us some good stuff. We've got 5 minutes left on the hourly. Then we can queue it up again. See what other mission sets we got here that we can work on. It doesn't hurt to come over and do some of these whenever you see that you can. It's just going to keep you on track. I wouldn't spend dilithium on anything except for what path it is that you're wanting to do. But it doesn't cost dilithium to get these points to rank that system up to the next tier. And the sooner you start doing all of them, the sooner you'll have them all completed, man. And like I say, that's if you are running some randoms and you're just getting some random points like that. Make sure you go ahead and spin them. Okay, and we got some Gamma Task Force. Go ahead and run that. And make sure none of that's costing any dilithium. We're good. And this is what I recommend doing before you get off in the evenings. Just make sure that you come in, double check, make sure duty officers are complete. You can't load any more up. Refresh it. Make sure that you have all of the officers taken care of. As far as your, I know we've used them all, so they're going to be in cooldown as they come out. But just double check those things and make sure that you have everything that you can do finished and completed Crafting still going 13 hours. Reputation says 1 second, so we should be getting pretty close on something. 3 minutes. It's getting there. But I hope you've enjoyed the stream, guys. I am going to hop off here and continue grinding out on some of this stuff today. If you get on game this evening and you're on PS5, make sure you look me up. Send me an invite. We'll jump over and give you a hand grinding out whatever it is you got going on. Maybe you're working on in-game and just want somebody to play with. Have a wonderful day.